sometimes I have to give 90% because Damo is 10. Okay? And sometimes Damo have to give me 90% because I'm 10.
Find a way to make more money sleeping than you can when you're awake. They're not trading their time for money.
Right.
They're not out there doing back-breaking labor to make money. They have developed systems. They have developed strategies or organizations that do the work for them so that the money can come in.
I think it's a rhythm. I don't really think it's a balance.
Yeah.
I think every day is a different day.
Yo, you just made money for not doing anything.
Right.
And then it hit me. There are people out there who are making millions of dollars for doing nothing.
Although we're together and we're in each other's world, we personally have our own world that we're dealing with.
Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be talking about how to make money online as a couple. And one of the biggest questions we get asked is, how do you guys do it? How do you guys do it with 5 kids? You guys always seem like y'all in a good mood. You always seem cool, calm, collective. What's the secret? So let's talk about it.
We're gonna talk about the secret.
We're gonna talk about all of it, right? They want to know. They want to know. So, in your professional 10-year opinion, what would you say is the secret? When it comes to for couples to find that balance or find that harmonic rhythm where they can do something together.
So.
And you can feel free to ask me questions too. Don't let it just be me asking you questions.
You gotta tell me what to do, okay? I know what to do.
It usually goes like that, guys. That's exactly how it usually goes. That's exactly how it usually goes.
Well, let's see. The harmony, the rhythm is, every house dynamic is different. We figured what works for us, and communication. We make sure that communication is in the forefront. Some people are really great communicators, and some are working on that skill.
Some people, I can see my double pillows in the back. I don't know. My double pillows are supposed to be there. You see that?
Yes, I see your double pillows. No, it's not fine.
So what do I do?
Sit on the edge. When you went to training, what did you usually do? Sit on the edge.
So I gotta stop that. We gotta start over again.
No, I think it's perfect. This is what we go through. I tell him to do something, and he want to do what he want to do, and then he end up doing what I told him to do from the beginning.
Guys, there's no such thing, first of all, as balance when you're in business with a partner, right? I think a lot of couples make that mistake, and they say, how do you find the balance? How do you find, I don't know what it is they're looking for, but the word that they use is balance.
Right.
Is there such thing as balance?
Listen, from what I remember when I was in science class, balance was, when you had, what's that thing, that instrument that they had, and they had to put the stuff on there, and
the scale?
It's a scale?
Balancing scale?
Oh, yeah, the balancing scale. So the balancing scale was you put something that weighs about 50% here, something that weighs about 50% here, and then it will level out to be equal. There is no such thing as that in the relationship. Sometimes I have to give 90% because Damo is 10. Okay? And sometimes Damo have to give me 90% because I'm 10.
Yeah.
So it's just really, I think it's a rhythm. I don't really think it's a balance. Yeah. I think every day is a different day. As long as you're communicating with each other and sharing like what is going on in your world. Because although we're together and we're in each other's world, we personally have our own world that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And so as long as the communication is there, then, you find the rhythm. But balance, I don't believe that balance exists.
I like the way you put that. It's not necessarily balance, it's rhythm.
It's rhythm.
Because you can have perfect rhythm where somebody giving 90, somebody giving 10. But it's not always going to be 90-10 from that one person, because then that one person burns out.
Right.
So sometimes you may have to switch from there and say, hey, okay, now I'm going to give 70, you give 30. And then sometimes it's a 50-50. And that's exactly how it transferred for us in business.
Yeah.
because one of the things with our business was we lucked out where when we both quit, when I quit Applebee's, after being, there for over 10 years and Felicia left nursing. You were a nurse for how long? You were there for a while.
Yeah, for about 7 years.
7 years, right?
Yeah.
When we both left the 9 to 5 side, we were fortunate because we had a brick and mortar business. We had a physical store, a nutrition club. And at the same time, we were in network marketing. So we were in that physical nutrition club. She was there 100% and I was there 100%.
Yeah.
So it was like 200%. And that's the pop. Actually, not even 200%, probably more than 200%. And that's when we discovered the power of partnership, the power of being a couple, that as a couple, you have an edge when it comes to making money. You have an edge when it comes to doing a business. Now, that same edge you have can also be a distraction. It can also be a distraction if you and your partner can't get in alignment.
Right.
Then it's like a car driving down the road where one wheel is going straight and the other wheel is going this. Right. You need an alignment. You need to come together and align.
And to add to that is what makes it more simpler, not easy, but what makes it more simpler is that you have one vision, one goal.
Yeah.
And because you have that vision and you have that goal, you can be together side by side, moving towards it. Yeah. A lot of times, I think what it is couples, some couples would be like, listen, I know I can't work with my wife, or I know I can't work with my husband because she's stubborn on this area, I'm stubborn on this area. There's no way that we're going to make this work. Yeah. And to each his own, that's probably true. But what we figured out was, if our goal is this and our vision is this, there's just certain things that just needs to get done in order for us to hit that goal, to hit that vision. So it's either we're on the same page to do it or we're not.
Yeah. Something cool that we learned, we went to an event. I don't know if you remember this event we went to. I think it was in Connecticut, or maybe it was in Connecticut. We went, me, you, I think Brandy, Talisha, a few people went to that event, but it was called a Power 2.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And one of the things we learned up there was 1 + 1 = 3. And how that concept worked was your mindset is one mindset. Your partner's mindset is another mindset. So it's two different brains. But when y'all come together and form that mastermind, y'all become a third mind, which is 1 and 1 is not 2, it's 3. So you now have 3 brains working on one goal. Right. So this is where what Felicia is saying, some people can't work together, but it's not that they can't, they just weren't trained to. Because when you go to your job, you have a coworker that you and that coworker is working on the same task.
And y'all strangers.
Right. The challenge is, are you willing to change? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to adjust? Are you willing to adapt? Are you willing to learn about your partner's skills? Are you willing to learn about their strengths? Right. And are you willing to sometimes ride shotgun? Sometimes I got to ride shotgun. I remember for a while when we was in the insurance business, Felicia was the one.
I was closing all the business
on appointments out there, and I was home with the kids. And I remember having to go to the office sometimes, and the men would look at me and be like, how do you feel with your wife out in the field making the money and you just home babysitting the kids? Right. And my answer to them was, listen, the more checks she bring home is the more sex she get when she get home. Right. So I was making sure I was ready when she get home.
Ready. And I mean, like, not just ready, like the house was clean.
Everything on point.
Food was ready.
Food ready.
The kids' homework was done. Like a lot of people would say I lucked out. Yeah. I sure did. I sure did.
So, and vice versa. There were times when I was like, Felicia, I'm out. Right. And she's home with the kids. Where I'm out in the field. I'm out prospecting. I'm doing a training. I'm out with teammates. And she's holding it down. And what's weird about that was I didn't get any comment. I don't think you got any comments saying, how does it feel for you?
No, because the man is supposed to go out and work and bring home the check.
Right.
And we're supposed to be home baking the bacon.
So it was one of them double-sided things. But what was even more phenomenal was when we found a babysitter and she went to that way,
Mm-hmm.
and I went that way,
Yeah.
and we were both closing business in the same day.
Right.
So she would be in Brooklyn, I would be at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, yo, IBA just hit the board.
Right.
And she'd be like, yo, hold up, I got one coming up too.
Right.
And then in like 1 hour, 2 pieces of business just go on the board,
right.
just like that.
Right.
So, you know, that was our cheat code,
mm-hmm.
where in some relationships, the husband
mm-hmm.
didn't come to the office.
No.
Or they didn't even participate in the business. They were like, that's my wife's thing.
Right.
I'm not going to come in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Or vice versa. The wife was like, nah, that's my husband's thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to come into the business.
Right.
But the couples that came to the office together, the couples that read the books together,
mm-hmm.
that attended the events together,
something
happened to them. Can you talk about what happens to a couple when they share that environment? What happened to us?
It's literally the power of two. And it's not just couples. It's just in partnership. Period.
It could be brothers and sisters.
It could be brothers and sisters. It could be couples. It could be mom and daughter.
Yeah.
Father and son. The couples or the partnerships were the ones who were hitting the leaders board like on top.
Yeah.
And the single individuals did a great job too, because of course
they hit.
Of course, most of them were hitting number one. They always fell in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
However, the couples, they were like winning. Like they were in the top 5.
They had a business.
They had a business. So it's one of those things that, you know, we learned early on, because as Damo said, he was working at Applebee's for 10 years and I was working at nursing for 7. And I was unfulfilled. I was unhappy. I used to have anxiety going to work. And when we made the decision to go into business with each other, because we was like, yo, that Applebee's money ain't enough. That nursing money ain't enough. Like, we have to figure out how to figure this money situation out outside of punching a 9 to 5, because we weren't present for our kids as well.
Yeah.
And when we decided to put our head together, you know, because we are in a partnership, we hit the leaders board too.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that it's kind of taboo, but it's really not.
Yeah.
It's really not. Society just made it so that you don't see that side.
Yeah.
But when you go into those type of businesses, the husband and the wife, for the most part, are working together. Yeah. Even if the husband is not on the forefront or the wife is not on the forefront, there's a lot of us out there.
Yeah, it's even here when we came to Georgia, like we just came from an event a couple weeks ago, downtown Atlanta, and I met a lady and she gave a testimony and she was like, you know, I tried to get loans and I tried to apply for money and nobody believed in me. People didn't want to support me. Mm-hmm. And she said, my husband is the one that saw my vision and he went and he built the store for me.
I remember that.
He financed the business and he set everything up. Mm-hmm. And my husband have a financial background. So he run the logistics sides on the back end.
Right.
Now, nobody knows the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows he's even doing anything.
Correct.
But they're in business together.
Yes.
But the wife is the face of the business.
Right.
But the husband is the one in the background handling all of the technical stuff.
Right.
And that was the same thing with another friend of ours here at we met, you know, at a gym.
Yeah.
You know, this couple that we know, they ran an amazing gym. And the husband was the front of the face of the business because it's a gym. Right. So he was the trainer. He was the head trainer. He was the coach. He was training everybody. But we found out that his wife
was the one who was running the business.
She was the analytical person.
Right,
she was the math genius. She was the money counter.
Right.
She was the bill payer.
Right.
She was the, hey, we need to get wipes. We need to get sanitizers.
Right.
So
there's always whoever's in the forefront. If you're in partnership, there's always the backbone of the business. The person who's working who's not seen.
Not everybody's seen.
Not everybody is seen, but it's because of them that the business is running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to touch on really, you know, I know one of the struggles making money together as a couple is how do you both be authentic, right? How do you both be authentic and show up as your true selves when it's two of y'all? Because now really when it's two of y'all, it's really one of y'all. Because people see y'all as two now. People see y'all as one.
Right.
So how does somebody now show up
and
be themselves even in that double header?
I'm gonna be honest, you know, it was one of those things that I personally had to work on myself. And it just took a lot of me communicating with you about aside from the fact that we're in business together, I still have my visions, I still have my dreams. And what we did was talk about those things. And I would always ask him, I'd be like, you know, well, what is it that you want aside from the fact that we're doing this together? Because yeah, we've been together 10 years, but before 10 years, you had dreams, you had aspirations. That doesn't mean that they got to be lost in the forefront because we decided to go into business with each other. And I think I heard this saying from Greg Cardone's wife. I forgot what her name was, but she was just saying the best feeling is being able to be in business with your spouse or your partner, and they're pushing your vision forward and you're pushing their vision forward while you're building something. And that's just more of how did we overcome that? By talking, you know. And sometimes it was hard. Sometimes it was hard for me to step outside of the fact that, hey, we're building this business together, but I really want to go do this thing for me, because we're so used to doing things together that it even becomes a little bit numbing, where it's like, if we're building this together, why do you feel that you need to build something outside of this? And it was one of those things that I had to just, you know, let myself know and let Damo know, like, we are still individuals.
Yeah.
You know, we have strengths together. We also have weaknesses together. There's things that I want. There's things that you want. As we're building this legacy business, I still want to fulfill my calling, my purpose. You still want to fulfill your calling, your purpose. What God has for you, can't nobody take from you. And if you're not in position to at least go after the vision that He gave you, then you're not really operating at your highest level. And so it's communication. It was just sharing that.
That is so good. That is so good. You always remind me of that. You know, I
All
think
the time.
I think Felicia's favorite line is, "You're addicted to me."
Fact.
But even in this addiction, what do you want to do?
Mhm.
And she's constantly asking me, "What do I want to do?"
Mhm.
And you know, sometimes I look back at it and I'll get so consumed at, you know, when two heads are on it, we can accomplish a lot much more faster.
Right.
And she'll constantly remind me, hey, but if two heads are on it, like if you just build you and I build me, we will always build us.
Period.
And it's the same thing for you. If you're sitting there with your partner and you guys see, the challenge that we discovered is it's all about vision, right? It starts with the vision, because the vision that we had since 2015 was, hey, we're about to leave this job world. We have kids, but once we leave, the goal is to not go back.
Right.
But what do we want when we do leave? What we want is, we want to be able to have freedom of time, and we want to be able to have freedom of income, meaning you have options. You have options to move and go as you please, and you're not restricted by money. You also have freedom of time where you can pick your kids up, drop your kids off, go to school with your kids, go wherever you need to go, just spend quality time with them. You have the vision that you know you want freedom of time, freedom of money. It's okay, how do we go about doing it?
Right.
And the blessing for us was we didn't know how to do it. So because we didn't know how to do it, we found coaches and we found mentors. And that's where network marketing played a big role, because we saw people doing what we wanted. We saw people working together side by side in business as a couple. We saw people running a partnership role where one person did training on Monday, one person did training on Saturday, but one person was licensed, the other person was licensed. So it wasn't a matter of this person is the leader or that person is the follower. It was like, oh, that's a power couple.
Right.
It's like they both nice with it. Like this one know how to make money and this one know how to make money. So you got to put respect on both of their names.
Right.
And it wasn't really somebody in the back and somebody in the front.
Right.
But we also saw somebody in the back and somebody in the front.
Right.
Because even with Brenda and Louis, we saw that. Like I used to come to their shop and see him packing up that whole office, stacking everything.
Yeah.
And Brenda's out there giving out flyers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so that's where it comes, where you figure out as a couple what's the strength, what's the weakness, what's the threat. The SWOT.
Yeah.
And I'm not, Damo. I was in the beginning. I was a closer, so I would be the one who was able to ask for the check, and Damo had to work on that skill. But because I was the closer, who's the one who was closing most business?
Wait, hold up. I was a closer.
Yeah, I didn't say you were it. I said that
because I was closing them from the street into the store, into the products, and then I would say, hold up, my wife is going to talk to you and tell you how much it is and what you need to do.
Right.
So you was just closing the last part of the transaction.
Yeah, so we're both closers.
I had to close them from AB,
yeah,
and you had to close them from CD.
Got
Let's
it.
just clarify that. All right.
It's clarified. We were both closers. We were both closers. Okay. And but he knew what my strength was.
Yeah.
I also knew what his strength was.
I didn't overstep.
Like I wasn't the one who was gonna sit there and have long conversations with you. I was like straight to the point. Let's do this. But he's the one who would sit there, figure out your family tree,
listen to you, tell me what you want,
all of that.
Tell me your goals and dreams.
So we had a master plan, and we just worked our strengths.
That actually worked really well too, because I would listen to their needs. I would listen to the problems and hear what's going on, and then I would make the recommendations. And then they would say, okay, so how do I get started? And I'd be like, hold on, I got to go somewhere, but my wife is going to come take care of you, and she's going to tell you exactly what she needs. Right. So when she came in, she was emotionless. Yeah. She was just like, my husband said you needed A, B, C, so you can get D, E, F. It's $200, but I'm giving you 25% off. How would you like to pay? Cash or card? Yep. It was no storytelling. It was no nothing, because I already did the day. I already did.
He already closed with the customer service, the in person. Right. He already closed with all that.
Right. So it was no negotiating. Can you give me a discount?
You can pay. You
can pay. You can't.
Right.
You pay. You can't. And that's basically, that's also how the kitchen table appointments went too.
Right.
Like when we really figured out how to recruit and sell over the kitchen table, it just became a masterpiece.
Right. So let's run it back, right? So, we're a couple in business together. And what was hard for us was although we was in network marketing, outside of network marketing, we was like, where's the couples who's in business together?
Oh, where are they? We didn't see them.
We didn't see them. And so I want to ask you, how do somebody or couple decide, hey, I want to build a business together, but I don't see me. I don't see us.
So, that's a very good question. And one of the things that we've learned, that as a couple who is in business right now, or you have an aspiration to be a couple in business together with your partner, you're out there. You just don't know it, right? And you got to go to events. Sometimes you got to go to church. Sometimes you got to just go travel out of your local city and go places to find more people like you. For example, we just came from an event again downtown, and I got up in front of the room and I said, I love the fact that I'm at this event, because, there's at least 50 people in the room. But I said, out of the 50 people in the room, it's like 40 of them are women, and there's only 10 men here.
Right.
I would love to see more men in the room, right? And when I was done speaking, the woman got up to me and they said, hey, I would love to see more men in the room too. But when I looked in the back of the room, there were men in the back of the room supporting their wives from a distance.
Right.
And somebody came up to me and said, my wife and I, we say the same thing every single time we sit down. Where are the other couples in business together? And this is what I think. I think that this space is present. The space just doesn't know it exists, right? Because even us, right, we're called the entrepreneur couple. And I promise you this, we've been calling ourselves the entrepreneur couple for probably since we first started, maybe 5 years now.
I would say 7.
7 years now. And I'll tell you this, when we first started to name the entrepreneur couple on social media,
We
there was no
nothing.
entrepreneur couples
Nothing.
anywhere.
There was probably one.
The entrepreneurial couple
Right.
was the only one we saw.
Right.
But if you go now on and just type in entrepreneur couple, there's entrepreneur couples everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're not there,
Mhm.
they're just not publicly known.
Right.
So if you go to a mom and pop restaurant, you're probably going to see mom on the cash register
Mhm.
and you're going to see pop in the back.
Right.
That's an entrepreneur couple.
Correct.
That's a couple in business.
Yes.
If you go to a church
Mhm.
and you see the pastor on the pulpit
Mhm.
and then his wife is also a pastor,
Correct.
that's an entrepreneur couple.
Correct.
Except entrepreneur couple in church,
Correct. Yes.
right? So the entrepreneur
Couple
couples,
in business.
they're couples in business.
Right.
They're there.
Mhm.
I think there's just not any events or any seminars or any big movements that have all of these people just
Mhm.
coming together.
Right.
You know.
Just, I don't feel like there's a huge community for them
Right. Right.
compared to, there's community for women
Yeah.
and there's a few communities for men. But there is not a huge community for couples, unless the only time that I've seen that community is in network marketing.
The only time was in network marketing.
Was they would have, the power of two.
It was in
And
network
then
marketing.
even though they came in as a couple, they would have events as a couple, but then they were also separate too.
Yeah.
So it's one. I have another question. So say like let's go back to us, right?
Mhm.
So where we had 9 to 5, right? We were unhappy with our 9 to 5.
Mhm.
We were unhappy with the money that we were making with our 9 to 5.
Mhm.
We were unhappy that we couldn't be 100% present in our family, our kids' life.
Damn, we was that unhappy?
I was.
We
I
was that
was.
unhappy.
I was.
Okay, well, go ahead.
And when I say unhappy, it means like the quality of life that we wanted wasn't matching with what we were doing.
We were ready for change.
We were ready for change.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we was working on 9 to 5, 40, you was going 40 hours this way, I was going 70 hours this way,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
We had at that time 2 kids,
Mhm.
and we was like, oh, this money is not mathing.
Mhm.
We was like, we want to buy a house, we want to get a new car,
Mhm.
we want to travel, we want to be able to save money, we want to be able to invest money, and we was like, it's either I'm gonna have to work 24 hours to be
Mhm.
able to do those things,
Mhm.
or we're gonna have to look for something else.
Mhm.
And we decided, all right, we're gonna go into business with each other so that we can just build this different life, right?
Mhm.
How do a couple, number one, make that decision, and how do they necessarily go about it? Because the security of I need to pay my bills that comes from the 9 to 5 is still important.
So basically, you're asking me a couple who's sick and tired.
Right.
They had enough.
Mm-hmm.
They know they need to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
How does a couple like that? How does a couple who knows that they're sick and tired,
Mm-hmm.
they know they need to make more money?
Right. They're
How,
at home. They're having bedroom talk, and they're like, "Babe, this ain't enough money. Like, what we
so
gonna do?"
I'm rephrasing back to you to make sure I answer the question.
I just wanted to set the scene.
Because you asked me that was like a 2-minute question. You asked me a long question.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically asking me, how does a couple who know that they're sick and tired come together, make a decision to go make money online when they make not online, just make money together or start a business,
right?
Even though they got to take care of responsibilities. Like, how do they go about doing it?
How do they go about doing that?
Okay, so that's a very good question. Speaking from experience, what I would recommend to that couple is you got to have a clear vision first, right? You got to have a clear vision blueprint as far as where do you see yourself 1, 3, 5, 10 years out,
right?
And if you have kids, what is the legacy going to look like? What is the pass of the baton going to look like? What is the handoff going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to have that written down, right? What Felicia is really good at coming back to some pieces of paper and holding it in my face and say, we spoke about this, like what changed? And the reason why you need that is because your emotions will change. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have arguments. You might have little small fights, and those things might deter you.
Right.
So you need to have a roadmap that you can say, hey, this is what we both agreed on, and this is the plan that we're following.
Correct.
So once you have that, then you need to know how much money do you need coming in on a month to month,
right?
And then where are you now? So if right now where you're at is 5K a month and you want to jump to 10K a month, you're like, all right, I just need to go make up 5K.
Correct.
But it's not make up 5K. You need to go make 10 outside of work.
Right.
Because 5 is coming in from your work. You need another 5 more to get to 10. So you need 10 outside of work. Here's the beautiful thing about that. In a relationship, the husband is going 40 hours to the left. The wife is going 40 hours to the right. That's 80 hours combined, leaving the house, going out, right, into somebody else's business.
Right.
So if you can come together as a couple and you say, all right, I'm going to do my 40 hours at work. I'm going to do my 40 hours at work. But I'm going to take 5 hours and I'm going to take 5 hours, and that's 10. Now, as a couple, we got 10 hours coming into us. See, now you take that 10 hours and you work your plan.
Okay.
You work your plan by saying, all right, this is the industry we're going to get in. If it's real estate, boom, y'all both contributing 1 hour every week, right? So it'll be 2 hours every week, 2 hours Monday, because y'all got 10 hours now. It'll be 2 hours Monday to Friday learning real estate. So you can take the next steps of going into real estate. If it's getting into whatever it is, e-commerce, boom, y'all taking 2 hours Monday, 2 hours Tuesday, 2 hours Wednesday, 2 hours Thursday, 2 hours Friday to go learn. Because you got to go learn something new. You don't know this information yet. So you got to go learn something new. So you got the vision, you got your plan. Now you got to go learn. Now you need to go apply, right? You still got the same 10 hours. So now you need to go apply. And here's what starts to happen when you start to apply. You start to make mistakes. You start to get a little bit of traction.
Right.
So if it's e-commerce or if it's digital products, you get your first sale. You make your first $100. You make your first $200. Don't quit your job yet.
Correct.
What we did was we focused on replacing a bill at a time.
Yeah.
So when we first started in Herbalife, we were getting paid like $150 a month. And we said, all right, let's use Herbalife to take care of our cell phone.
Right.
So now our cell phone became free. We didn't really make any more money. We just replaced the bill on automation.
Yeah.
And then when we got to 400, we said, all right, we could take care of our cell phone and we could take care of our light bill, right? Boom. So now 2 bills is on automatic. So it's the same for you. As you start to grow your income, let's say you're making $500 a month, start to put your bills on automatic, right? So now let's say if all your bills come to 2,500, doesn't include the mortgage or whatever. That extra money that's coming through your side business, let that take care of your bills. So now your bills are on automatic.
Right.
So now you're basically living for free, right? Because your side business that you're doing 10 hours a week is now taking care of your bills. So now what do you do with that extra money? That extra money, you're able to save that, stack that, prepay what you need to prepay, develop your cushion, develop your assets, develop your saving situation, start budgeting your money, start putting things in order. But at the same time, you need to start growing that side business. And then when you get to a point where your side business can now give you what you was getting at your job and a little bit more, you now have the option to say, all right, we need to apply more time to this. So what do we need to do? Should both of us leave the job, or maybe one of us should leave the job? Maybe both of y'all don't have to leave the job. Maybe one of y'all could leave and now give more time to the business while you still now have secure income coming in from the job, but now you have more time. The mistake that people make is when they leave their job, they don't know how to manage their time. Well, they don't know how to manage themselves with the new time that they just found.
Okay.
So what happens is when you were at a job, your boss told you when to come to work. He told you when to take a break. He told you what to wear. He told you when to sleep, what to eat, and when to go home. So somebody ran your schedule. So now when you become an entrepreneur, you were very productive with your 10 hours, but you were also very motivated with the unhappiness of the job. So you had motivation and you have production. What happens is when you quit the job, you no longer have somebody cracking a whip on your back. So now you have 168 hours a week and you think you're free.
Right. You're like, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't,
I don't got to get up early. I could get up late.
Right.
I could work when I want.
Right.
I could do whatever I want because I make my own schedule.
Right.
Nah, it don't work like that because you haven't developed the mental habits or the mental fortitude or the mental security to self-govern and self-regulate to do the things that you need to do.
And that's the secret sauce.
Have you ever wondered how some of these people on social media have an amazing brand? They have amazing social presence. You see them wherever they go. And it feels like they just have like a cheat code and they know something that you don't know. Well, if that's you, stay tuned and watch this video. We came upon something that is like so phenomenal. And the reason that I say that it's phenomenal is because me and my husband, Dominique and Felicia, the entrepreneur couple, have been in this online space for over 8 years. Okay. And the 8 years that we've been in the online space, we've had to learn online marketing and different aspects of making money online on separate occasions by separate people and by spending thousands of dollars. Absolutely. We had to learn getting customers, marketing, leads, building funnels, email marketing, website building, social media setup. We had to learn all of that. We were able to take everything that we've learned over the course of 8 years. But what's so interesting is with this program, we were able to learn even more. And based off of what we were able to learn from this program and our experience, we were able to help a client of ours make $20,000 in a day. And why? It's because of all the components that we learned from the program. Because if you're struggling to just figure out how it is that you could bring in some extra income online from home outside of the fact that you work 9 to 5, or if you're the type of person who's like, man, I see a lot of people making money online, but I don't know the components or exactly what I should do. Or if you're the type of person who's struggling, like you're actually putting content out there, but you don't know how to have a system around it in order for you to just monetize on it. Or if you're just the type of person like, I want to know about this online space and I want to see what everybody is doing so I can apply it to my own business, this is for you. I remember going to my barber the other day to get a haircut and we were talking and, she has a large group of following. She has a product, but she's like, Dom, I want to put that together and how to make money. And I said to her, you need a few things, right? You need an audience. You need a list of people to sell to. You need a product to sell, but more importantly, you need to know how to sell. You discovered this program that teaches you how to do everything. It teaches you how to build a funnel. It teaches you how to create your audience. It teaches you how to build your list. It teaches you how to do the emails. It teaches you how to put the product out. And if you don't have a product already, this course can also be your product because you also get the rights to resell this product for 100% profit. And more importantly, you can use this product to make money from home while you sleep, right? So if you're like us and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you feel overworked, you feel overwhelmed, and you're ready to 2x, maybe 5x, or even 10x your income in half the time without feeling overwhelmed, without burning yourself out, this is for you. So what I want you to do is I want you to read the description below. We have multiple options for you to get the program. Use a payment plan method or there's a full payment option. I promise you, when you go ahead and get this program, you will not regret it. And the best thing about it is if you're shy girly and you're like, man, I do want to go into this online space, but I don't want to necessarily show my face. They even show you how to go faceless. So now there's no excuses. There's no excuses why you can't be bringing in an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per month online without showing your face. And the last and the best part of it all is that you get the both of us. We're not just all about selling you something and then after we sell it for you, we're peace and we're gone. No, we actually want to take you through the process, help you understand the process even better. You get the both of us. And again, we've been in the online space for over 8 years. And so we've had experience and we have knowledge and wisdom to share with you. So tune in, lock in, get it. You do not have nothing to lose. This program right now, you're getting it for pennies on the dollar. There's people using this program to make 5 figures a day, 6 figures a day, 7 figures a month. Right? So if that's you and you feel like, hey, I want a piece of that, go ahead, go through the program, and I promise you won't regret it. Peace. The secret sauce is if you get to the place where your side hustle or your side business is taking care of the foundational bills that you have. Start with one bill. Start with replacing one bill. Right.
And then
one at a time.
You're almost at the level where you hit that income and you're like, all right, I'm ready to possibly, one of us is ready to possibly leave the job so that one person can focus solely on the business.
So you still have that security over here.
You still have the security. And the secret sauce is the same amount of energy that you were putting in the 9 to 5, you put that same amount of energy in the business.
Yeah.
So if you were waking up for your 9 to 5 at 8 o'clock and you was coming home at 6, that same exact time frame is what you should be applying to your business.
Yeah.
And so that's what Damo was talking about, that once you're like, okay, I left my job, I'm going to focus on my business, you think it's okay for you to wake up at 12.
No.
It's not.
You don't. You guys, I'm sick. I can't go to work today.
I'm not working on
you better get your butt up.
No, it's the same way that you wouldn't call out of work because you didn't want to hear the boss mouth.
Right.
The same way. And that's the challenge. The challenge, and this is speaking from experience. You know, we left the job and we was like, we'll do that at 2 o'clock. No.
Right.
That same energy that you put in your 9 to 5, you put it in for yourself.
Here's a caveat to this. This is where arguments start. Because when you had your job and you worked at 8 a.m., you had to get up at 6 o'clock to drive to work on time, wear what you need to wear. Nobody told you what to do. Nobody, your husband don't got to tell you to get up and go to work.
Right.
And your wife don't got to get up and tell you to go to work. You already doing that automatically. But when you now become into entrepreneurship, you sleeping late, and when your wife say to you, hey, don't you got to post content? Hey, don't you got to go live? Hey, don't you got an ebook to go write? Hey, don't you got to go respond to some DMs? You look at them funny and you're like, yo, don't tell me what to do. Or how about this? If y'all have a personal argument about, let's say y'all have a personal argument about something personal.
Right.
Business still need to get done.
Yeah.
So because you in your feelings about the art, you tried to get some last night, your wife told you no. And because she told you no, you woke up in the morning feeling some way. So now you get up in the morning, y'all know y'all got to record a YouTube video, but you don't want to talk to her because you're mad because you got blue balls and you don't even know if you want to be her friend or not. But a YouTube video still need to get done. Right. So what does that mean? You got a paradigm shift. You got to shift hat and you say, all right, that's my husband and wife hat. We beefing right now. But business hat, we can't be beefing.
No.
So you need to forget this guy and you need to be like, listen, even though I'm mad about this, hey, what's the game plan today for business?
Right. And we had to come to that realization. And I had to share with Dama, listen, we have to speak out the different hats. Yeah. So it's like, okay, Damo, this is me talking to you as a business partner. So all those feelings as a wife, as your bestie, as your friend, as your chilling partner, that goes to the side because I'm sharing with you that I'm speaking to you as your business partner. Now I could come to him where we're not talking business and I'm like, oh, I got to share something with my husband, whatever. Yeah. I'd be like, babe, listen, I'm coming to you as a wife right now and boom, boom, boom. Or I'm coming to him for something fun. I'd be like, yo, babe, I'm coming to you as your bestie right now. Listen to this. Or, you know, it's just sometimes the other partner is not aware of the hat that's on at the time that you're delivering the message. And they'll just speak to you generally. And you'll be like, you don't understand what I'm saying. You're not listening. You don't hear me. Yeah, because they don't know what hat you're speaking from. Yeah. Are you speaking from the wife hat? Are you speaking from the business partner hat? Are you speaking from the best friend hat? So it's more like just look at the different hats. The parent hat, I would have to be like, okay, babe, as parents, boom, 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 boom. So it's just making a list of the different hats that each other wear, so that when it's time to have a conversation, they are able to mentally put that hat on and speak to you in that way, so that the message gets delivered the right way.
How about the coaching hat? I remember a couple of times I would wake up and I'll be like, Felicia, are you reading? Listen, if I wanted to pick a fight with Felicia, I would say, did you read this morning? Right? Don't ask me if I'm reading. Don't tell me what to read. Are you reading? Man, you need to get out of my face. Now listen, I'm just talking to you as your coach.
Right.
I don't care. Get the hell out of my face. Right? But it was just for me trying to be annoying and pick a fight.
Right.
But really, what I was trying to say was, hey, you seem a little intense this morning.
Right.
Did you do any personal development? Did you get your mindset right this morning? Did you do your prayer journal? Did you read your Bible? Did you read any book development?
Right.
You know, it was just about not what you say, but how you say it. And this also has a lot to go into vulnerability too. Like sometimes you got to be vulnerable on both ends. Vulnerable on the end of what is the message that my spouse or my partner is trying to convey to me, and am I taking it personal? Am I in my feelings? And are they trying to hurt me? Are they trying to harm me? Or do they mean good for me? And that's something I've always shared in our relationship. Hey, I don't think there's anybody out there that want to see you win more than me.
And that was something that I had to work on. Donald had shared with me a long time ago, like, if there is someone who is on your side, it is me. You know, and, you know, past trauma, past hurt would make you feel like, you know, I'm in this by myself. I know we're together, but like, I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And when he said that to me, I had to take that chip off my shoulder and realize, okay, we are, you know, moving together.
Yeah.
So if we're moving together, what is this feeling of don't tell me what to do if we're moving together? So I had to work on that. I think like one of the biggest things that helped us work together as a couple in business is personal development.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you said that because I want to give some tips. I want to give some tangible. If we can give some tangible tips that somebody who wants to be a couple in business, maybe you already are a couple in business. I know there's a couple of people watching on TikTok right now. If you have a partner, maybe you're in a relationship and you know you guys want to do something together. What are some tips that they can apply, like real stuff that works? Like we've been doing this 10 years, and we speak to a lot of couples, and the stuff that they're ready to kill each other over is peanuts. It's not, you know, they fighting over stuff
peanuts for us, but it's a big thing for them.
It's a big thing for them because they don't understand that it's peanuts.
Yeah.
So, but what are some of the things that we've learned? Because you know, we were fighting over those peanuts too.
Of course.
Like we were fighting over those peanuts. So, but now I could say they're peanuts.
Right.
So, what are some of those things that, you know? I know you said personal development, but can you elaborate on how does personal development help a couple in business thrive together?
So it's as simple as this, right? I used to go to a lot of events. And when I go to the events, I would come home and I would be fired up. And I'd be like, babe, this is what we got to do. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Well, right. And what I realized is that same fire that I had, he didn't have that fire. There's no way for him to have that fire.
Like what?
Right. If he wasn't at the event for him to see exactly where I was coming from. So we made a decision that, you know, we would read the same books.
Oh, that's one. Read the same books.
Read the same books.
Read the same books.
If he bought a book, he bought me a copy. If I bought a book, I bought him a copy. For the most part, we would watch the same YouTube stuff.
Watch the same YouTube videos together.
Right.
So read the same books, watch the same YouTube videos together.
Right. And of course it wasn't nonfiction stuff. It was like personal development, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Les Giblin, like, you know, all those stuff that's supposed to help us succeed.
Dale Carnegie,
all those
Napoleon
stuff
Hill.
help us succeed. And spiritually too. Spiritually, we decided that, you know, we're going to pray together.
Pray for each other too.
Pray for each other.
I need to write these down. This is good. This is good.
We decided that we were going to read the Bible together.
Read the Bible together.
And we decided that we were going to go on date night so that everything wasn't just business all the time. Because it's easy to get so consumed in working the business that you forgot about each other. Yeah. Because as much as we're together 24/7, I used to tell him, I want to spend time with you. And he's like, yo, babe, we're together 24/7.
I was with you all day.
What more time? No, I want to spend that quality time with you. And I'm not talking about the time that you poke me at 2, 3 a.m. talking about let's get it on, babe. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, I want to sit down. I want to talk to you. I want to go out to eat. I want us to get dressed up. So it's like, making sure that date night is on the calendar, making sure that family night is on the calendar, making sure that, when I'm overwhelmed with the kids, that you're aware, making sure when you're overwhelmed with the kids, making sure that I'm aware. So it's just kind of just like all the threats, and the threats are the kids. The threats are not spending quality time with each other. The threats are the bills. The threats are lack of communication. All those threats, we listed all of them out on paper.
I got a couple. I add to that too. So I know you said some of the things that somebody can do to thrive as a couple is read the same books, personal development, going to the same events, watching the same podcasts, praying together, praying for each other, reading the Bible together, going on date nights, remembering quality time, also taking turn with the kids.
Oh yeah, that was a date.
Taking turn with the kids, because if you're in a relationship where you think it's the wife's job to change diapers 24/7, no. Take turns. Cooking, right? If you don't know how to cook as a man, order food.
Can I give the gem?
Sure, yeah, you can share it.
So what we did to help with that is we took a 30-day calendar, right? So we have 5 kids. So we took a 30-day calendar, and no matter what day it started from, Damo would get 2 days that he's in charge of everything in the household, including the kids. And I would get 2 days where I'm in charge of the household and taking care of the kids. Now, if I am at the house and it is my day, Damo has a choice to either help me or be like, no, I'm doing my own thing. And I can't take that personal because it's my day.
Yeah.
So if it's 30 days on the calendar, on the edge of the calendar, it was DD, Damo, then FF, Felicia, and then we would continue all the way through the end of the month.
Yeah.
And in the morning, we would wake up and we would look, we see whose day it is. So that means that day you're supposed to cook, you're supposed to take care of the kids, you're supposed to change the diapers, you're supposed to make sure the house is clean, you're supposed to make sure that
the house is in order,
is on point. And he would have 2 days. I would also have 2 days, and I would do the same thing for him. So there was what ended up happening is we were overwhelmed together.
Yes, no break.
Nobody get break.
Nobody
get
break.
Overwhelmed together, and so when we did that, it has changed everything for us drastically. Where I was able to take care of my personal things on those 2 days, and don't get me wrong, there's times that they go intertwined into each other where I would have a family member who came in on his day.
Yeah.
And what we would do is we would switch off
negotiate. This works extremely well if you have a newborn. If you have a newborn baby, granted the mom got to breastfeed and all of that good stuff. Mom Deuce got to breastfeed and all of that good stuff. But who wakes up in the morning every time to change the diaper or to pick the baby up when the baby's crying, or who should make the bottle when the baby's crying? So, if the baby's 4, 5, 6 months and you're no longer breastfeeding, or the baby's just crying, and mom shouldn't have to get up all the time. So yeah, mom has to breastfeed, but hey, these 2 days are your days. Outside of breastfeeding, it's all you.
Right.
So that's when we learned that, because it was like, this baby stuff is work. So if it's your day and the baby's crying, get up, take care of the baby. 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, doesn't matter. And the other person can sleep soundly. And that's when we started to realize, you know what? I don't have to think about what the kids are going to eat. You don't have to think about it. If it's my day, I got it.
Right.
If it's your day, I got it. And, that helped out a lot.
And just to add a pointer to that, for the new baby part, you might be in a situation where you, as the mom, you're not the one going to the work, but the father is going to work.
Yeah.
And so if he has to wake up at 6, 7 o'clock to go to work, me personally, I knew that Damo used to wake up at 6 o'clock and go do training sessions. And although it was his day, I didn't wake him up. I didn't wake him up because I knew that he was about to go to work anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's not written in stone. That's basically what I want to say. It's not written in stone, but it still gives you the freedom to be able to be free.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I know there are couples out there who say, you know what, I'm a stay-at-home mom and my husband goes to work. So how do you balance it there? It's like this. Have you ever wondered how some of these people on social media have an amazing brand? They have amazing social presence. You see them wherever they go, and it feels like they just have like a cheat code and they know something that you don't know. Well, if that's you, stay tuned and watch this video.
We came upon something that is like so phenomenal. And the reason that I say that it's phenomenal is because me and my husband, Dominique and Felicia, the entrepreneur couple, have been in this online space for over 8 years. Okay. And the 8 years that we've been in the online space, we've had to learn online marketing and different aspects of making money online on separate occasions by separate people and by spending thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. We had to learn getting customers, marketing, leads, building funnels, email marketing, website building, social media setup. We had to learn all of that.
We were able to take everything that we've learned over the course of 8 years. But what's so interesting is with this program, we were able to learn even more. And based off of what we were able to learn from this program and our experience, we were able to help a client of ours make $20,000 in a day. And why? It's because of all the components that we learned from the program. Because if you're struggling to just figure out how it is that you could bring in some extra income online from home outside of the fact that you work 9 to 5, or if you're the type of person who's like, man, I see a lot of people making money online, but I don't know the components or exactly what I should do. Or if you're the type of person who's struggling, like you're actually putting content out there, but you don't know how to have a system around it in order for you to just monetize on it. Or if you're just the type of person like, I want to know about this online space and I want to see what everybody is doing so I can apply it to my own business, this is for you.
I remember going to my barber the other day to get a haircut, and we were talking, and she has a large group of following. She has a product, but she's like, Dom, I want to put that together and how to make money. And I said to her, you need a few things, right? You need an audience. You need a list of people to sell to. You need a product to sell, but more importantly, you need to know how to sell. We discovered this program that teaches you how to do everything. It teaches you how to build a funnel. It teaches you how to create your audience. It teaches you how to build your list. It teaches you how to do the emails. It teaches you how to put the product out. And if you don't have a product already, this course can also be your product, because you also get the rights to resell this product for 100% profit. And more importantly, you can use this product to make money from home while you sleep, right? So if you're like us and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you feel overworked, you feel overwhelmed, and you're ready to 2x, maybe 5x, or even 10x your income in half the time
without feeling overwhelmed,
without burning yourself out, this is for you. So what I want you to do is I want you to read the description below. We have multiple options for you to get the program. Use a payment plan method, or there's a full payment option. I promise you, when you go ahead and get this program, you will not regret it.
And the best thing about it is, if you're shy girly and you're like, man, I do want to go into this online space, but I don't want to necessarily show my face. They even show you how to go faceless. So now there's no excuses. There's no excuses why you can't be bringing in an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per month online without showing your face. And the last and the best part of it all is that you get the both of us. We're not just all about selling you something and then after we sell it for you, we're peace and we're gone. No, we actually want to take you through the process, help you understand the process even better. You get the both of us. And again, we've been in the online space for over 8 years. And so we've had experience and we have knowledge and wisdom to share with you. So tune in, lock in, get it. You do not have nothing to lose.
This program right now, you're getting it for pennies on the dollar. There's people using this program to make 5 figures a day, 6 figures a day, 7 figures a month, right? So if that's you and you feel like, hey, I want a piece of that, go ahead, go through the program, and I promise you won't regret it. Peace.
That's basically what I want to say. It's not written in stone, but it still gives you the freedom to be able to be free.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I know there are couples out there who say, you know what, I'm a stay-at-home mom and my husband goes to work. So how do you balance it there? It's like this. I can't tell you how to balance your relationship. What I can share with you is what has worked for us. And the number one mindset that helped us was, you either want to be in a relationship or you want to be right all the time. If you want to be right all the time, keep doing it how you feel and how you believe is the right way to do it. Let's see how far that gets you. But if you want to be in a relationship, You got to find that harmony. And harmony sometimes is not 100% on both sides. It could be if you're the husband and you're going out and you're working Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. When you get home, you're tired. You're tired when you get home. So you may not have the energy to go also take your home. But you're home Saturday, Sunday, it don't mean you watch football and basketball all Saturday, Sunday, right? It don't mean you be like, yeah, I'm gonna chill with the boys because I've been going all week. Nah, like babe, I'm gonna take the kids for a walk. I'm gonna take them to the park Saturday morning. Let's everybody go to IHOP. You don't gotta cook. Let's just take everybody out. So I can give you maybe I could give you 3 hours. And that 3 hours is like, hey, you got 3 hours to recharge. Right? Maybe you say Friday night, you don't have to cook. We're gonna order some food. And then you're responsible for the ordering of the food. You're responsible for the kids eating. You're responsible for the cleanup. So in a way, I'm not saying that you're not going to work 40, 50 hours and then you won't come home and have a little bit of a job. You will. But remember what we said in the beginning, it's a sacrifice, right? You're already working 40 hours giving to somebody else to build their dreams. If you don't take another 10 and build your dreams, you're stuck on that one-way train for a very long time. So at some point in time, you're going to have to give a little bit extra. It's just how it is. It's called a sacrifice. You have to let go of something that is no longer serving you to get what you want. So you may have to give a little bit extra to get back that extra, right? So don't take it personal. And you as the wife, being at home, because the husband is out, you yourself, you're gonna have to give a little bit extra too. So that means if you're the stay-at-home mom, you do the laundry, you do the cleaning, you do the cooking, great. But you need to find 1 hour a day and go learn something, right? Go learn digital marketing. Go learn how to create an ebook. Go learn this. Go learn real estate. Go learn e-commerce. Go learn how to start a cleaning business.
And the whole point of that,
you got to find that 1 hour to go learn something, because nothing will change.
If you're unhappy or if you're not where you want to be,
right?
Because it's like the term insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah.
So you can't think it. You got to work through it to get to where you're trying to get to.
You got to work through it.
So with that being said, it's one of those things that, it's just a decision that has to be made, because the same person who is cooking, cleaning and everything, imagine being able to bring in $15,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then being able to pay somebody who comes in Monday, Wednesday, Friday to clean the house. Imagine all the pressure that is off of you.
Yeah.
Imagine, I don't feel like cooking. Imagine paying somebody to, hey, please come to the house and make food for the house.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes we have to figure out, we have to tell ourselves, it's okay to pay to get freedom.
Yeah.
It's okay to go pay somebody to do the laundry. I know we grew up and we were like, don't let nobody do your laundry.
Yeah.
But
they don't clean the house the way I clean my house.
They don't clean it, and we give ourselves all this excuse to take more time into doing the things that stresses us out.
Yeah.
So it's okay to buy back your freedom.
Yeah.
Buy it back, but you can't buy it back knowing that my 9 to 5 ain't enough to pay for it. So that's why finding a different way or a skill to generate that extra income, or to be able to transition at your 9 to 5 so that you can live the life that you want, it's very possible.
Yeah. One of the things that, I think helped us the most, one of the best things that helped us the most was when we started to make passive income. Oh. When we got our first check from Herbalife, and it was like $33 or something. And it was like, babe, we just got $33 for doing nada. And it was like, it kind of felt guilty because you're like, yo, you just made money for not doing anything.
Right.
And then it hit me. There are people out there who are making millions of dollars for doing nothing.
And it's not necessarily nothing. Explain what nothing is.
They're not trading their time for money.
Right.
They're not out there doing back-breaking labor to make money. They have developed systems. They have developed strategies or organizations that do the work for them so that the money can come in. And that's one of the things that, we share now. We share with couples that you're just in a situation of you just don't know how to do it, right? You just don't know how to do it. And that's why having the vision is important. When you have the vision of what it is that you want, now the next thing is finding somebody that can show you how to get it done. Right. So one of the quotes that I heard a long time ago that kind of like ripped my mind apart, it was what's the dude's name? Yeah, that's the one. What's his name? Oh my gosh, his name is slipping me. What's the old dude name, man?
I don't know.
Berkshire. He owned Berkshire Hathaway. He started buying Coca-Cola. Oh my gosh. But anyway, it says find a way to make money while you sleep, or you're gonna work for money until the day you die. Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Find a way to make money while you sleep, or you're gonna work for money until the day you die. And when I heard that, I was like, find a way to make money while you sleep, or you're gonna work for money until the day you die. It shook me up. And then the one that ripped my brain apart was when I heard somebody say, find a way to make more money sleeping than you can when you're awake. And I was like, how the heck can you make more money sleeping than you're awake? Because if you're asleep 8 hours a day, there's 16 more hours you're awake. So you're making more money sleeping than it is that when you're awake. So when I heard that, I was like, how?
Right.
How? How?
Show me.
But that's now when your reticular activation system starts looking, right? Because I just opened your mind. So, okay, how can I make more money sleeping than when I'm awake? And that's when we discovered e-commerce. We discovered drop shipping. We discovered trading. How about going to sleep and placing a trade and waking up to $1,200? And you're like, yeah, I just made $1,200 last night.
Yeah.
From 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the Hong Kong market and then the British market. Oh my gosh. I made $1,200 before the U.S. woke up.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, it's all of those things that you just said: e-commerce, real estate,
selling digital. Look, I just sold 3 digital products before I woke up.
Facts.
Right now, you guys are on TikTok, but we're recording a video on YouTube. We've been getting paid from YouTube every day. Every day.
We finally became monetized about 2 weeks, a week ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And no lie, the day that we got monetized, we was already, the next day.
$200 in like
we made $200. I said, babe, look at this. And he was like, no way. And we have been getting paid from YouTube every single day since we got monetized. And we watched Myron Golden Heavy.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, guys, get on this YouTube.
Get on this YouTube stuff.
And we was like, yeah, we don't get on YouTube. We don't do it.
I mean, we've been on it, but we just,
we just never crunched it up. And the fact that now we know.
Myron, shout out to you, Myron. We know how much watch hours that you're doing. About. You're doing like 10,000 watch hours. I can only know. I know what's going on.
Okay. So but then YouTube is another skill.
That's another skill.
That's another skill.
You have to go learn it.
You got to go learn it. So
there's a business within the business.
Right.
People are putting their business within that.
Right.
This is another skill.
Right. So it's one of those things that there's a lot of skills for you to learn. You don't have to be in a place where you're unfulfilled, you're overwhelmed, you're unhappy, and you're broke. Yeah. You don't have to stay there. There is too many ventures that you can tap into.
Yeah.
Figure out what makes you happy. Figure out what turns your knob and say, you know something, I'm going to give this 18 months. I'm going to give this. You can't say I'm going to give it 90 days.
Yo,
don't do that.
I think the secret number that we found out was at least 18 months.
18 months.
18 months.
You give it 18 months.
Give it 18 months. All you got.
All you got. And that's another thing.
All you got.
All you got.
And more.
Don't have. All you got.
And some more.
And some more.
But this is where a couple is powerful because if you're given 5 hours and she's given 5 hours, that's 10 hours a week. You're not working Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Or maybe you're taking a different day off. That's just 10 hours. It's 4 weeks in a month. That's 40 hours a month. Right? But if you're doing 10 hours a week, it's 52 weeks a year. Right? That's 520 hours. right? Just in 12 months. Imagine putting in 520 hours doing one thing. You didn't hit the 10,000 hour mark yet, but trust me, you put in enough hours where on month number 12, month number 13, you should start seeing some fruits of your labor, especially in today's economy where you can go on TikTok and somebody's selling a digital marketing course. You can go get that course, learn all the information in that course in 2 weeks, put up your stand store, put up your system on your website. Now you got to go learn content creation, and now you're just running traffic to that product. Those are also systems that can get you paid while you sleep. Those are also systems that you can use to buy back your time.
And let me add this. If you got to this point of the video,
shout out to you.
Shout out to you, right?
Because I know we've been uncovering the layers of this video.
If you got to this point of
the video, and I still feel like we need to do a part 2 for this.
We're gonna have to do a part 2. If you got to this point of the video, this is what I want you to do. And I want you to really map out from 6 a.m. in the morning to 12 p.m. at night. And I want you to take inventory of your day, hour per hour, what you did per hour. You're going to realize how much time that you wasted not doing nada. I did it myself, and I was like, babe, I spent 3 hours scrolling.
Right.
I spent.
No, you got sent it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I spent 2 hours just doing the kids' hair.
Yeah.
You know, instead of while I was doing the kids' hair, maybe I could have put a YouTube video on and did personal development.
I got something for you.
You see what I'm saying? So just really take inventory of your day from, like, even if you don't do it from 6 to 12, do it from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you'll realize, like, okay, I worked for 8 hours. When I got home, I sat down, I ate, and
so the question says, but something that Felicia just touched on.
Are you worried about
you're probably talking about the hurricane. You're talking about the hurricane, but here's a question that I want to ask you guys. This is something that we did when we were in the trenches, right? There was a point in time where you're gonna have to. I'm not going to say do what we did, because what we did is a little bit extreme.
Too extreme.
What we did was we gave away all the TVs we had in our house. We had like 3 TVs, a TV in the bedroom, 2 TVs in the bedrooms, and then a TV in the living room. We gave away all the TVs we had in our house. And that's a little extreme, but I'm going to tell you why we gave the TVs away. Jim Rohn said, do you know how expensive it is? Do you know how expensive it is to own a television? And people will say, nah, it's not that expensive. A brand new TV costs about $300-400, and you're good. But it don't cost $300-400, because when you buy the TV $300-400, you have to put cable or internet on there, or Wi-Fi. So if your cable is like $70 or $100, your internet is another $80, you already at like $500. But the most expensive thing on your TV is not the power that it runs and the current that it uses. It's the time that you sit in front of it and consume it. And 95% of the time you're watching TV, you're not watching anything that will help you change your situation. You're watching Netflix, you're watching Hulu, you're watching gossip shows, you're watching TV shows, you're watching the Monday Night Football, you're watching Sunday Football. And those people, them already rich. So they are robbing you of your time, because you have to pay attention to them, right? You have to pay attention. They said it, pay attention. You're paying attention with your time. So what we did was we said, since we're not where we want to be, let's just give away all of our TVs so we're not tempted to pay attention with our time to somebody who's not going to help us. So what do we have to do? We ain't had no TV to watch. We now had a cell phone. So now the cell phone is the next thing that's stealing your time. We said, look, let's just commit to doing at least 2 podcasts a day or 2 YouTube videos a day, along with reading and along with studying one specific thing. So now we were consuming that. And when people ask me all the time, they say, Damo, what's the best thing I could do to get started in this game? I tell them, yo, stop watching basketball. Stop watching football. Stop watching, them Netflix shows. Because if you sit there and binge watch a series in 3 days, one series is 50 hours, 45, 50 hours, and it's 10 episodes a season.
Yeah.
You just wasted all that time watching those seasons, and then you don't get nothing out of return.
No.
Right? You just wasted all of that time. You just sat there watching Monday Night Football. You just sat there watching the basketball game, arguing about who's the best player when that person already rich.
Right.
And this is the part where I'll say to people, like, the idea of you making money and changing your life, it sounds nice, but are you willing to do the work? It sounds nice, but are you willing to do the sacrifice? It sounds nice, but do you really have the grit and the grind to do the things that I tell you to do for you to see the change?
How about this? How about the individual who says, listen, I could still watch Power. I could still watch Ghost. I could still watch all that and still make money.
To that person, I'll tell him this. One of the best quotes I heard, it was John Maxwell. John Maxwell had this gentleman who they went to an event, and the guy was saying, hey, John, I've made millions and millions of dollars, and I don't read books. And John Maxwell said, oh, really? That's interesting. How much money you made this year? And the guy was like, I think I made like $12 million this year. And John Maxwell said, and you read no books? And the guy was like, yeah, I didn't read no books. I don't do no personal development. John Maxwell said to him, can you imagine how much more money you would have made if you did read and if you did do personal development? And the guy said, I never thought of it like that. So I'm not saying you can't have success without it. I'm just saying, can you imagine how much more successful you can be and how much more success you can have with it? Because there's people out there who don't do it.
Right.
But I'm just sharing with you, the people who do it, you're able to make quantum leaps because you now have exposure to more information and you now have exposure to more experience. So now you're able to condense time, which is a quantum leap.
How about somebody who's like, something, it's not all about money. It's like, I want to make sure that, I'm happy, it's my family is what matters. And, I'm good. It's not about money.
Okay, so then if it's not about money, how do you need to pay your rent this month? Or how do you pay your mortgage?
So you want me to play this game?
How do you pay your mortgage?
I pay my mortgage with money.
Okay. How do you put gas in your car?
With money.
When your son goes to school and they need to buy lunch, if they don't get school lunch, what do they need to buy lunch?
Money.
When your son's on the basketball team and they need to buy sneakers, what do they need?
Money.
When they need to go on a school trip and the school teacher sends you home a form and they say, sign this, but send them back with $30, what do you need to pay the $30?
Money.
For you to talk on your cell phone, what do you need?
Money.
At the end of the year, everybody got to pay tax. What do you need to pay tax?
Money.
You work 40 hours a week for what?
Money.
You went to school, now you got a student loan, you got to pay that debt off with what?
Money.
When you go in an ambulance, you have to pay a bill. What do you need to pay that bill?
Money.
So you need to solve the money part. The money part may not be the only part. There's a spiritual part, there's the emotional part, there's the family part, there's the health part, right? If you want to be healthy, what do you need to go to the gym?
Money.
You want to buy apples and bananas, what do you need? Money. So it's not all about the money, but the money is important. So when you say it's not important, you're disregarding the importance of what it is, because you're saying something is not important, but you're trading your thoughts, you're trading your energy, you're trading your body, and you're trading quality time with the people you love to go get it. So how can you not appreciate something that you're willing to sacrifice so much things unconsciously for? So what that person really means is, hey, I know the money is important, but other things are also important. How can I put the right things in the right things? And you can. One of the persons I saw that said something was Wall Street Trapper. He said, now that I don't have to worry about money anymore, I can finally heal the traumas my family's been through.
Come on, man.
But you can't heal your family trauma when you're still arguing about money. Your mom's sick and she needs medication. What does she need? Money. So you can't say, mama, let's heal this trauma when your mom's
Did you just say medication?
Medication. You can't say, Mama, let's heal this trauma when she need money.
Right.
You can't call your brother and say, big bro, let's heal when your big bro trying to figure out how he gonna pay his car note.
Yeah.
So let's solve the money quickly so you can enjoy the other things. And there's nothing wrong with money. In the Bible, it speaks about money. The Bible said, above all things, beloved, I wish that you prosper in health and as your soul would. So yeah, your soul needs to be good, right? You can't trade everything for your soul, but you also need to be healthy, but you also need the money. It says Abraham was very rich in cattle, silver, and gold. When the Israelites were set free from the Egyptians, they asked the Egyptians for silver and gold. So God was telling them, get the money. God told them, get the money before they left. So if he telling them, get the money, how the heck you going to come nowadays and say money's not that important? Not saying you're saying that.
I know.
But the person who said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said.
Yeah. Tell the people where they could find. Oh, guys, make sure you guys are subscribed or like the channel. And if you guys are on TikTok, we release a new episode on our YouTube channel every Thursday. Make sure you guys go subscribe. This episode should be out not tomorrow, probably next Thursday.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's called The Entrepreneur Couple. And if you guys definitely want to start working on your vision as a couple, we created a free guide called Dream Life Biz Launch Blueprint. I'll put the description below for that, where you can gain the clarity and confidence you need to put your vision in play and take action on that. So we'll make sure we put it in the description below.
Cool. Any questions, just drop it in the comments. Let us know. We just, let us know that you hear, that you resonate, and, we said something. Go do it.
Go do it. Yeah, we said a lot. I'm definitely going to create a PDF and put those 10, probably maybe 15 tips that we gave that a couple could use to come together and make money online or just make money in general. We're going to put that together in a PDF and put that in the description.
Right.
So once again, we hope you guys got something from this. Be sure to check out the next video. We got a couple of videos on the channel. Just go through and binge and see if we can help you out with that.
And if you have any other videos that you want us to do, just let us know.
Yeah. So we out of here. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Looking for more tips on how to build your purpose-driven business? Be sure to check out our Money Making Secrets playlist at the top right-hand corner of the screen.
Or you can check out our most recent uploaded video right below.
Enjoy. See you soon.